coming to you all with a pretty cool episode. It's a compilation of a few days worth of observations. I know that a lot of people like to just kind of stick to the levees like you see me doing here, but I like to get out of the vehicle and I like to spend a lot of time on foot hiking through swamps, and it's just much more enjoyable to be out there in the element of the Everglades and really just take in all the sights and smells and walk through that cool winter water, and it's just a very overall different experience than just going back and forth on a levee all the time. They both can reap their benefits and be productive, but I like to get out there on foot, so there's a little bit of that in here and a little bit of observations from the vehicle too, so let's jump right into it.
Alright, definitely not a python, but this is pretty cool. Right in the middle of all this, a neat little brown water snake. Native species, just super cool to see snakes in the area that we're hunting, so hopefully the next snake will be same shape, but a lot bigger.
You want to make the grab? No, right here. Starting to crawl. But check for female, check for female. It's a male.
Hole.
It's a male.
There's a hole right here.
Okay, so that's probably where he came from, but he was heading to the water. So just look around, you don't have to kill yourself.
I don't see anything.
Okay, all right.
That looks like a normal hole.
Okay, go ahead and come back up. Let's peruse the area. He was looking for a female. See how he was stretched out? You see him stretched straight out?
Yeah.
He's what I was talking about. Well, you'll notice that in the wintertime, after I make a capture, whether it's a male or a female, I immediately go into hunting mode, trying to find the snake's mates. If it's a female, there's undoubtedly males in the area, and if it's a male, there's probably a female in the area. And if you put in enough time, and you've done it enough times, you can kind of move around and find sign of the other snakes where they've basked, or even paths where they've mated. So that's what my buddy and I are doing right here. We're going back and forth. I'm actually carrying the snake and looking for other snakes as I'm carrying the python I just caught. Time is of the essence. I don't want to waste too much time bagging this snake while I could be out there looking for more. So my buddy Kyle's on the case of trying to find the other snakes while I go ahead and bring this one back up onto the levee and bag it. But that's what you see going on here.
It's dusty out here.
Super dusty. It's hot, dusty. Look at all these ticks on this snake's head. That is disgusting. There's got to be 15 ticks in that wound right there, just on that one side of this.
The late snake there, huh?
Yeah, look at the amount of ticks on the side of his head.
Kevin showed him one of his from last year that had a bunch of ticks like that.
Yeah, disgusting.
It is.
So, well, that's the good way to start off the year. Well, after catching that snake, it's time to look for its mates, but not after I first stopped to take a little bit of time with this black widow spider. It's unusual to see them with a web that's exposed. They're usually concealed, but that was pretty darn cool. But anyways, back out into the swamps to look for this python's mates and see if I can't turn up. It turned out to be a male that was captured, so I'm looking for a female right now, and you'll see me flying through the area trying to find her, and sometimes I'm successful, sometimes I'm not, but it's always worth the effort, and it's always good to learn and gain information that can lead to future success. So that's what you see me doing right here. It's also something where you definitely need to wear long pants and gloves, because you're going to get cut up and scratched up, and sawgrass can be very unforgiving, without a doubt. Sometimes you see some pretty neat stuff when you're out in the field. On this second day, my buddy Kevin and I were cruising along, and you see there's a pied-billed grebe swimming along on the surface of the canal out here, and you're going to see an alligator that's going to come in and try to get this bird. And it was funny, every time that the alligator would close the gap on this bird, the bird would submerge, swim for about 40 feet, and then pop back up. which is exactly what it does here. It was quite amusing to watch this gator go back and forth trying to get to this bird, and the bird almost was like playing games with it. Every single time the gator would show up, the bird would move on. Just one of the kind of cool things you see when you're out python hunting, but let's go ahead and continue on.
Start to the morning.
You know, oftentimes when you're scanning for pythons and you're working an edge, you'll come across native snakes and alligators and pretty much all kind of critters down in the grass. And it never ceases to amaze me that people don't get bit by venomous snakes more often, because especially in South Florida, the Florida cottonmouth is actually pretty common in the same kind of microhabitat that the pythons are found. So I just walked up on this very large cottonmouth that was concealed in the grass, and if you really don't know what you're looking at, and you know, like these people that are in the Python Challenge and so forth, I sure hope that they get themselves educated on the native snakes of Florida here, because you don't want to just reach down into the bushes to grab some thick-bodied ground snake in the Everglades. You might be grabbing one of these and be an awfully nasty bite, but always an awesome observation, and I love seeing them. Well, I hope you all enjoyed the episode. I'm certainly happy that I was able to share it with you. Had a little bit of everything in there, some spiders, some alligators trying to attack birds, some python captures, some cottonmouths, and this nice brown water snake that I'm showing you right here. You know, when you're hiking around out there in these swamps, you see all kinds of stuff from time to time, and it's really nice to try to, you know, be able to bring you all along for the experience. I try to do my best to kind of capture it, you know, how I see it. You know, I film from the GoPro on my chest, so a lot of times things might not be squared off in the center of the screen and what have you, but you know, I have to have my hands free for these pythons, and I'm also a lot of times walking through thick vegetation and deep water, so it can be a little hectic out there. But as I always say, I appreciate you watching, and please like and subscribe. Hope to see you all out there in the field, and take care, stay safe.